Well, guys, we have been busy and I have been forgetting to video. So I'm going to show you a little bit of an update on what we've been working on. All right, so first off, I can't remember if I took a video of this, so we're going to talk about it. I got the whole cutter bar back together. Everything on the front side of the head. That has been working very, very good. I've taken 200 acres off. I broke one guard and I've broken, I think 3 teeth. But we're going to be helping that problem, and I'm going to show you about that in a second. So here is one knife I got to change. Had to change one guard, and this is the third tooth that I've broken. Now, I had a lot of issues with the head that I did not get taken care of before we started. We've gotten started very early this year. In fact, at this point last year, we were not even started. So that's been really good, other than I did not get several things taken care of before we started. The auger on my head was a problem. This piece was very, very wore. And it was letting the auger shuck back and forth. Well, that in turn broke this piece right here out. It busted that down and it was letting the auger hang. So we ran almost a whole day with the auger with we ran almost a whole day with ratchet straps holding this arm forward or horizontally and vertically to try to keep this straight. It was quite interesting. And in hand, we blew the other side apart just because there was a lot of vibrating and a lot of movement that shouldn't have been there. So I had to end up buying this arm and this new bushing. At the auger pivot bracket, I think that's what I call it. But anyways, I had to get a new one of these. Oh, also I broke the adjusting rod because it just was, again, all hammering. So I had to replace this rod, adjusting rod, and then this new arm. In fact, the old arm is right here. You can see busted the end off, and then it was cracked right there. So, and then also that's like just aluminum. This is either steel or like aluminized steel. It's like 3 times as heavy. So it's definitely heavier built. But just because I had all that vibration and all that movement going on, it just kind of let everything fall apart and break. So now we have the auger secured a lot better. That should all be taken care of. As far as the knives and the guards, why I broke that knife and those 3 guards in 200 acres. You really should not do that. You theoretically should not break them that often. So, my problem was when you look at my cutter bar, when I would be combining, have the head set up to combine, the knives and guards would be pointing at the ground like this. So if this was the ground, they would be pointing like this at it. And, you know, well, the problem is you hit any rock, any stone, anything, and it's going to break a tooth or a guard very easily. I'm running a 600 series header on a 50 series deer. So the problem is it's not really designed to run it, but it does work. So I started doing research last year. I kind of found that this is really probably what I should do, but I just didn't do it until this year. I should go back. When I was up in Kingsville in the sand and gravel, it was 10 times worse than it was out on our clay. So it just, if there was any rise in the dirt at all, the cutter bar just wanted to chop it, cut it, and put it up in the head. And that's no good. So I've decided, and it was not cheap, there's three degrees. This is the one I went with, which is I think the middle one. But I bought a kit to essentially, it's a block here that'll help push the header out. And in turn, will push the teeth or the knives and the guards up. And so now we had it over on the combine to look to see to fit it up to see how it would work. And now instead of being like this, we're actually like this. And now we actually have the teeth and the guards up off the ground about 3 inches, which is going to be nice. So I don't think it's too high. We could always put the other one on if we had to, but I don't think we'll have to. But now instead of it riding like here on the bottom of the guards, and then down onto the plates. Literally, it's going to be riding like it is sitting on this bar, if that's able to be seen. So you're going to be 2 or 3 inches off the ground. So again, any little rocks are going to just immediately go under. And even if you have a decent sized rock, it's not just going to push up into the head as easy as it would have when it's flat with the ground. And the other thing is, dirt is also not going to push up into the head like it would have when it was right on the ground. So I'm really excited about that. I really think it's going to make a big difference. So really excited about that. But yeah, got everything good to go now. Auger's back turning. It doesn't turn super easy, but it's off, not hitting. Everything's running good. So we're excited to run today. Hoping we'll be able to. After today, there's about 4 days more rain. And then we got sun next week. To see how it does with all the changes, all the work we've done. Yeah, we'll see how it does when we get out there. Today, this is a Lankota wedge kit for a 600 series header. This is a pretty old 600 series header. I think it's about like the 1st or 2nd year they were made. So this kit didn't work up exactly right, or didn't work exactly how you'd want it to. So one of the things we had to do is I had to cut my mounts off and weld these ones on, and that allows us to be able to use this mount for the head. This is where the pins go through that hold the header on the combine. And then also my bolt holes did not line up, so I just put some small welds on the sides. It would be very easy to take off if I had to. There's nothing that would pull on this, and even when it's on the combine, it's always being pushed up against the header. But it was a pretty easy kit. Pretty nice, worked pretty good, and I'm really thinking it's going to make a big difference. So wasn't too bad to install. Nothing, $1,400 won't take care of, at least at this time, which is fall of 23. I'm sure in years to come it'll be more. Now if you have a 60 or 70 series deer, they have turnbuckles on the feeder house to turn to tip the feeder house back in. The 50 series does not have that. That is one thing about the 50 series. There's not a ton of difference between the 50, 60, and 70 series as far as the actual thrashing of the grain. I think when you get into the 70 series, you have the bullet rotor. Supposedly supposed to be a little better, but a lot of guys say it's not that huge of a difference. The biggest difference from the 50 to 60 and 70 series is creature comforts or ease to do things. And one of that is on the feeder house is adjustable on the 70 series. On the 60 and 70 series, you have the sieve and chaffer, final stage of separating your grain from your chaff. On the 60 and 70 series, they are, probably electronically controlled to move up and down. On the 50 series, it's mechanical. It's nothing huge, but just, again, creature comforts. There's a lot more things from the cab that is electronically controlled to move. But still, the 50 series is a very nice combine, and compared to the older combines, is still very, very nice. So I'm very, very happy and blessed to have it, really. But yeah, so if I had a 60 or 70 series, I wouldn't have needed this kit. But because I have the 50 series, we got the wedge kit, and that's going to take care of all of our problems, or so I hope it does. We'll see. Well, we had the 9750 die, so we had to bring the truck out to work on it. Hopefully we can get back out. The back tires aren't too low, but that front tire's at least a third of the way buried. Anyways, we'll see. So, ended up, we're pumping fuel right now. I gotta drop 100 gallons in her. Ended up, we pulled this line off, and it just had a little stream of fuel. So we blew back up into the tank, and then it blew full stream. So apparently we got some junk in the bottom of the tank. We're gonna run with it today, probably for the next day or two if we can, and then we'll have to drain the whole 200-gallon tank or wherever it's at with fuel. I try not to let it get below 100 gallons, and we'll have to clean the bottom of the tank out. I say the bottom of the tank, there's a suction screen. Suction screen and stub pipe up in there. We'll have to pull that out and clean it all up. It's gelled up with something. So we're gonna get combining do that in a couple days probably. At least we got it running though. We are glad for that.
Are you gonna video again?
I am videoing Jace right now. Well, my dad likes the trucks to be very full. He claims he won't lose any going to the elevator, so we shall see. She has loaded up big time. Well, I guess we're not going to drive the truck to the combine. We'll have to drive the combine to the truck. Started to bury her pretty good. So, it's, the combine floats very, very well, considering how wet it is getting. I don't know if you can tell in the video. Wow, it's a beautiful sunrise right there. It was pretty wet over in those areas over there. And I was rutting it up pretty good right there, but this side over here wasn't as bad. So, I guess I should mention to fuel it. That's why we need to get the truck close to the combine. So we are grabbing the hose and we are going to fuel it. This is interesting, trying to do this with one hand. And that tank will be empty, and this tank will not be full, unfortunately. Holds 250 gallons. Well, guys, I'm not afraid to show some horrible beans, so here's some horrible beans. I knew this was going to be my worst field, and it is, well, horrible. Almost not worth combining, but there's actually more beans. And of course, this is a really weedy spot right here. Might have to pick that up and go over a little bit. Anyways, this is, I knew this was going to be my worst field. I didn't think it was going to be this bad. But, you know, well, you'll have this now and then. Nobody's perfect. And I don't know. Got all the fertilizer needed, 300 pounds. This field got sprayed twice, and I still have all kinds of weeds coming in. But yeah, they're not great. I'm hoping they do. I don't know. Hopefully 10 bushel. Oops, sorry about that. Hopefully 10 bushel. I don't know. We'll see. Not great at all. There's a little bit better of an area, but it is not great. Not over there. That over there. I'm not even going to do a combine where that heavy grass is. Oh well. What do you do? Combine it. Keep going. Alright, I'm going to get back to it. Well, good morning, guys. It's actually a beautiful day. First time we've had that thing sticking out in the sky for a pretty long time, probably going on almost 2 weeks. We had almost 2 weeks of no sun, and it was just quite frustrating, really. We had 2 days of real good sun, combined a little bit, and now the last 2 weeks has been nothing but rain and clouds. I was able to take some beans off here or there. A lot of times it'd start at 5 o'clock and be done by 7. And you just can't get a whole lot of acres off with that. So we got 4 or 5 good days of weather coming now. Really hoping we can knock out 250, 300 acres. We'll just see. It just depends on, well, help and being able to get moved and stuff. So we'll see. We're working on the combine right now. We're changing all the chopper blades. I've been needing to and wanting to. Just got time. They're really whooped. I'll show you here. Show you guys them here in a second. We did have to adjust the feeder house chain last week. I'll show you guys when we have the head off what we did with that. And we're gonna get her all greased and get started. So these are our old hammers we're taking off. And here's what we're replacing them with. So hold on, trying to get them lined up. You can tell there's quite a bit wore off, and I mean, they're probably not horrible, but they're pretty beat up, and I'm getting some vibrations, and I think it's coming from the chopper blades. From the chopper, I should say. So here's the knives. Look at this one. Huh. And I could have flipped this one. They never did, the people who had it in the past. But I just thought, man, with how much is wore off of that, they're not that expensive. We'll just put new ones on. So, you know, let's see how much is wore. So there's actually not much wore right off the tip. But there's actually some. I don't have it lined up exactly right. Probably. Just a little. But then obviously you can tell that it's supposed to be straight, and it's not. So we're changing all them out, hoping it'll spread straw a lot better, chop it up a lot better, and you know, just let the combine run a lot better as well. All right, so I got 2 sections changed already. This is one section of just hammers all the way across, and then we've got this section changed, which is 5 sets of knives and then 2 sets of hammers on the outside. Now we've got to roll it around, and we got another set of just hammers we're going to change. So we're going to get back to it. Let's see how the old 1466 handles 700 bushel in some pretty wet ground. Well, it's definitely not wanting to go, but it still is. Just a chugging. There's probably only 650 bushel in there. Uh-oh. Well, he's still moving. That was definitely a wet spot right there. You're welcome, Jared. I don't know why you went that way, but there you go. You get some ruts to fill in. He's on the downward slope now.